Hello everyone, Scott here again. I just got out of Assassin's Creed on Friday. Today's Tuesday. Don't mind that. This is Hyperbole. I know it's hyperbole, but hyperbole makes it mine. Assassin's Creed is the latest movie to come along and attempt to break the video game curse. Now, nothing has really broken the curse in as much as getting like Oscar nominations or things like that. But they've not been unsuccessful movies. Resident Evil franchise is very financially successful. Doom did well enough, and even the Tomb Raider franchise is generally regarded as pretty good. If you want to get some specifics in there, Angry Birds movie did very, very well. But this is the one where they thought maybe you could turn that corner and be something actually talked and lauded about amongst other big franchises. And Assassin's Creed is a hell of a franchise. It's the first of these outside of Warcraft to really come along and be like, hey, we're the big heavy hitter, let's do this. In front of Warcraft, we saw the Blizzard logo. In front of this, we saw the Ubisoft logo. It's kind of cool to see that. And in the credits, you actually see the Ubisoft team involved. So they're in there. Now, how was it? If you are interested whatsoever in seeing Assassin's Creed, I recommend it. Period. If you have no interest in seeing it at all, I'm not going to try and talk you into it. It's that kind of movie. It's very much like Warcraft. I don't subscribe to the idea that you'll benefit more if you have played the games and know the lore, because, I mean, granted, you would, but that's not a fair way to judge the movie anyway. If it doesn't work of its own merits and doesn't help you along and make you do homework beforehand, there's some flaws. If it makes you do that, I mean. Warcraft was very much a movie that came along and just kind of tried to be this big epic Lord of the Rings fantasy thing and never quite made it. This one has all the potential in the world to be a big, sprawling sci-fi fantasy, medieval, everything epic. It really is the opportunity to do anything. And the movie it had to get things established. I really feel we're in an era now when you can probably just jump in and then reveal stuff as you go. And the movie kind of did that. There already was an animus. There already was some elements of what's going on. But they spent way too long telling us about what was going to happen before letting it happen and getting us invested in it. And we didn't really care for our main character either. There was a lot of missed beats, even though Fassbender was awesome. A lot of missed beats. And it just felt like they fell short. I think with this cast, this production value, this idea and this concept, and this execution, I look forward to seeing what they can do in a sequel now that all the legwork and exposition is out of the way. That's what I feel about this movie. I do not regret seeing it at all. The cast is great. Jeremy Irons. Marion Cotillard, who I was like, is that her? Nah, it's not her. And then in the credits, it is. I've never had that happen with an actor before. That's weird. Excuse me. Irons is great. Looking really old, too. And Fassbender, of course, is awesome. And everyone else is kind of there. The assassin from the past that he's with is fun. She's cool. It does all the flippy stuff, does all the cool action. Here's the problem with movies like this. I've said it before during my Punisher reviews. I said it during Warcraft. When you take something from one medium, I have no examples nearby. I was going to grab something and be like this. The Punisher. In the 70s, gritty crime movies like Death Wish and stuff like that were the rage. They were really hitting it big. And the Punisher is that character in comic books. And comic books didn't have anything like that in the superhero element. So when you, years later, take that character and try to put him into movies, movies have that character. That's where he came from. They have him everywhere. And that's why The Punisher didn't work for a lot of people. That's why the 2004 version didn't work for a lot of people. I feel that why Warzone worked is because they took the comic book element of him and just being over-the-top action and putting that into the movie. That's where that turned that corner and they figured that out. Warcraft is a video game, and there's all the history of Warhammer and all that stuff that it doesn't need to be brought up here, but essentially is a video game about orcs and humans, and it's elves and all this stuff, and the general fantasy elements warring. Now, we've seen that with stuff like Lord of the Rings and that kind of stuff of late, Dungeons and Dragons even. The concept is very familiar. And Warcraft did that really well in a video game. It came over to movies and has tried to do it there. Well, again, we've seen that. We've seen it here. I have to sneeze. Excuse me. Sorry about that. So it does that. Now, Assassin's Creed. District 13 is in here. I think it's down there, actually. It's in there somewhere. And the sequel. Parkour stuff was new and crazy, and that's what kind of Assassin's Creed got. The free movement was a big deal. And I have to sneeze again. God. Sorry about that. Ugh, this has been the last week for me. What this game did was really emphasize the movement and the feel of it and cinematicness. Let's put that into a movie. It's a dime a dozen. But the one thing it has going for it is the overall concept. The idea of genetic memory and all this stuff going on is fantastically woven in. It just never broke out of that and was just very much that. But you put Fassbender in there, you put a cast that cares, but it just... I don't know the story of Assassin's Creed 1 and 2, which this apparently takes a lot from, but I still very much felt like it was telling me a story I already knew. Just like with Spider-Man, just like with Fantastic Four, just like with X-Men. There's a lot of just get on with it. This is the concept, do something with it. And it started to get there, but then the movie ended. Also, the MacGuffin, it was a lot of faith in that thing, which is the idea for what it is. I won't say any more than that. But they were really going on a lot of, we feel this is what it is, and this is the last thing we know about it. For 500 years. And it turned out, yeah. Wow, okay, cool. And it also is what they thought. Cool, okay. Huh. Neat. All right. So I recommend it. I didn't see it in 3D. It would not have benefited in 3D. It was kind of murky and dark anyway for what it is. Now I got to sneeze and I'm sniffling. I'm sorry. Absolutely worth seeing. If you're interested, if you're like, I want to see that, do. Absolutely. There's a shirtless Fassbender scene in there as well for those who care about that. You're all good. I don't like to do rating scores because I saw another movie that's very much in the same vein but completely different, so that's why I don't do scores. I do not regret seeing it. I enjoyed it on the big screen, but it's rare when I feel this way. I don't care to get the Blu-ray or DVD. I'd like to and add it to the pile, but I have no desire to. So there you go. That's that. Thanks for watching. Always check and like and subscribe and all that stuff. All the algorithms. Ooh, YouTubes. You watch my stuff, you watch my stuff. It's cool. You can find it at guiltypleasurecinema.com. Cyclops Scott here and on YouTube. This is YouTube. I meant to do Twitter. Facebook is Guilty Pleasure Cinema. It's all over the place. You'll find me there. Thanks for watching. And another one to record here, too. I actually hope I didn't hold the wrong one up that whole time. There's a hint. It's going to be interesting. Thanks for watching.